Hi everybody. So this is our next lesson. So again, we're going to continue working with our special right triangles. So I want you to pause the video. This was from Monday's lesson. What do we get? So we have a 45-degree right triangle. So that means these are isosceles. So those are equal. So x is 5, and y is 5 root 2. So now when we take the SAT eventually, they actually do give you this triangle. And they write it as x root 2. I like using A and B just because a lot of our problems have x's and y's in them. All right, so today we're going to talk about 30, 60, 90 triangles. So I want you to pause the video and use trig. Use like SOHCAHTOA to figure out what's the value of x and the value of y. So it doesn't matter which one you choose. I'm just going to pick one angle. I'm going to use the 60. So 60, that means this is my opposite. This is my hypotenuse. And this is my adjacent. So if I'm solving for y, I'm going to use opposite and adjacent. So that's tan. Tan of 60 equals y over 1, which is nice because y divided by 1 is just y. Tan of 60. Now, if we put that in the calculator, we get this weird number. We get 1.732, but that actually equals a number. That equals the square root of 3. So, square root of 3. And you can see that those two decimals are the same. Now we're going to do the same thing, but I'm going to solve for x. So this time I'm using adjacent and hypotenuse. So that's cosine. Cosine of 60 equals adjacent over hypotenuse. Cross multiply. X cosine of 60 equals 1. Divide by cosine of 60, and I get 2. X equals 2. So this is actually a nice number. And if you think about this, we have 1, I'll do green, 1, the square root of 3, and 2. If you do Pythagorean theorem, 1 squared plus the square root of 3 squared equals 2 squared, right? That's 1 plus the square root of 3 squared is 3 equals 4. So that's another way you can really see that this does work out nice. All right, so these are our notes. In a typical triangle, 30, 60, 90, we're going to do 1. So 1 is across from your 30. That's the shortest angle, the shortest side. 2 is the biggest side. That's across from your right angle. And across from 60 is root 3, because remember, root 3 is about 1.73. So it's a little bit bigger. So here, this is our A. This is our A root 3. And this is 2A. So this is what we're going to be using when we're solving for our side. And again, they actually give you this picture on your SAT. So just get comfortable with using that picture with the labels. All right, so I'm going to draw that label really small on the side here. So 60, 30. So this is A root 3, and 2A. Okay, so there's my little triangle. So let's look at this. So this is actually in the same position, which is nice. So that means that this is A. This is A root 3, and this is 2A. So we're going to use the 8 to solve. So what does A have to equal? Well, 8 equals 2A, which means A is 4. So that means my X is 4, and my Y is 4 root 3. And that's it. So we're just looking at which one are we given, which side are we given, and we're going to set it equal to figure the rest out. All right, so in this one, that's 60. This is 30. So we're given the side across from 30. So this one we're actually given our A. 5 equals A, which means this side is 5 root 3, right? A root 3 and 2A. So 2 times 5 is 10. That's it. Oh my goodness. All right, I want you to pause the video. I want you to draw yourself your right triangle and label each side. So I'm going to do it in red on the bottom here. Make this a little nicer than the last one. This is 30. So across from 30 is A. My hypotenuse is 2A. And across from 60 is A root 3. Right? So across from 30 is A. So this is our A. X is A. Across from 60, that's this one, is A root 3. Did I write A root 30 over here by accident? It's A root 3. And then this is 2A. So we're going to take the side that we're given information about. I'm given that. So 2A, my video paused. All right, 2A equals 10 root 6. We're going to solve for A. Remember, when you're solving, you're not allowed to divide inside the square root. So this is 5 root 6. So that means my X is 5 root 6. And my Y is A times the square root of 3. So that's 5 root 6 times the square root of 3. So that's 5 times the square root of 18. Now the square root of 18 can simplify. So let's do that really quick. What perfect square divides into 18? 18 is 9 times 2. Square root of 9, square root of 2, 3 root 2. So 5 times 3 root 2 is 15 root 2. And that's your final answer for Y. So that one, that's pretty much, that's a tricky one, right? That's a hard one. Like, I don't think I would put that quite on a test. This next one, on the other hand, I think is definitely doable. It is a little harder, but not overly difficult. All right, so again, let's label across from 30. This is my 30, is my A. So this time, A is 2 root 5. My hypotenuse is 2A. And my side across from 60 is A root 3. So all we're doing is we're going to replace our A with 2 root 5. So 2 root 5 root 3. So X equals, I'm going to put a line here, 2 root 5 root 3. Those, they're both under the square root. You're allowed to multiply them. So 2 root 15. Can we simplify the 15 like we did in number 3? You can't. There's no perfect square that goes in a 15. So that's X. And then over here for Y, 2 times 2 root 5. We multiply our plain numbers, not under the radical. And that's Y. So this is a very doable problem. This is like a nice medium. So number 4 is like a really good problem that I want you to be able to do. All right. Again, draw yourself a little triangle. I'm going to do it up top this time. I want you to pause the video and try this on your own. 60, 30, A, 2A, A root 3. Sorry, my writing is so bad, guys. All right, so we got our A. We got our A root 3. And we got our 2A. So we take the one that we know about. We have information about A root 3. So A root 3 equals 7 root 3. So this one's an easy one, right? Divide by root 3. Those cancel, so a equals 7. So a equals 7, well, that means x equals 7. And that means y equals 2 times 7, which is 14. Done. All right, so now we got to the hard one, right? This is about as hard as it would ever get. So I'm going to label my triangle again. So this is x is a again. Y is a root 3. And our hypotenuse is 2a. So this time we have 2a equals 6 root 11. Divide by 2 to solve for a. Remember, you can divide the plain numbers. You're not allowed to divide into a radical unless it's also one radical. All right, so a is 3 root 11. So that means x equals 3 root 11. What is y equal to? So y is a root 3, right? So we have 3 root 11 root 3. Well, the roots are allowed to multiply. So that's 3 root 33. Can we simplify that? That is no. That's a no. 3 root 33. And that's it. All right, so we are basically done. Friday, we're just going to have practice on this topic. All right, so do your homework. Email me if you have questions, etc. Have a great day, guys.